You may be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is a case of Bennett v. Grant.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Bennett, you claim that for the last 4 years, Mr. Grant has been claiming he is not your son, Uriah Jr.'s biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you're tired of his doubts and him running away from his responsibility, and you're suing him for $5,000 in back child expenses,
Yes,
correct?
Your Honor.
Mr. Grant, you admit you've not been a part of Uriah Jr.'s life because he's not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim Ms. Bennett has been dodging the paternity test, and today's results will prove the child is not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Bennett, how has Mr. Grant been running away from his responsibility?
I conceived my son on July 19, 2010, on my birthday. We went to the jacuzzi suite, we drank, we had a very great time, we had intercourse. 4 to 5 days later, I went to work.
How can you say you sat there and
I got sick because I know exact
I had
date.
condom on that night. I know exactly that night. We
you
just started
definitely
messing
didn't.
around. We just started messing
We
around.
have
were
been
only
messing around
together
for weeks by then.
A couple weeks by then, yes.
Ms. Bennett, you're saying that you didn't use protection that day.
No, we didn't, Your Honor.
And that's the night you conceived.
That's the night.
On your birthday.
On my birthday.
You remember it.
2010.
Mr. Grant, you say you did use protection.
I know for a fact I used protection.
Then if that's the case, when
Okay,
I
wait,
showed
were you in a committed relationship?
At first we were.
Yes.
You were?
At first we were.
All right, and so you didn't think she was sleeping with anybody else?
Not at first.
All right.
Not at
now,
first.
what makes you think she is
the
now
whole
then?
time. Ain't no not at first. The whole time I wasn't.
I mean, after we started splitting up and everything, I started hearing rumors from a few friends that she was sleeping around with a couple people.
And those people, I don't even know these people that you who is these so-called people? I don't even know these so-called people. And I was staying with you, so if I was sleeping...
I also thought she slept with my cousin.
I would have never slept with your cousin. I never slept with anybody besides you in your whole family.
In the streets,
probably in the old everybody you know.
I'm not gonna lie. I was in the streets. Me and my cousin had a house. I used to leave her there sometimes. Go stay with my sister, sleep the night at my sister's house. So she used to spend the night at the house with my other house with my cousin. So
and nothing ever happened. I would have never slept with your cousin. I never slept with your cousin. Never slept with none of your friends. No, only person I have slept with is you. When I showed you the sonogram and told you I was pregnant the day I went to the hospital, you was like, okay, we started picking out names. We started talking about what we was gonna do.
At the time, I didn't think about the time frame. I didn't
well,
think about
you should have been thinking,
because
I was.
Then I started thinking about it. You cannot.
Or other people start thinking about it. Fuck
Okay,
you.
tell me, okay, wait, explain to me this time frame. You said you weren't thinking about it at first, then when you start thinking about it, you discovered...
Yes, we did what we did on her birthday, but I had a condom on. She says that not too long, maybe 4 or 5 days after that she went to the doctor and that she found out she was pregnant 4 or 5 days after that.
4 or 5 days after...
After we had sex.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Back up here. You said your birthday was on what?
July 19th.
July 19th?
2010.
All right,
My
so we got
birthday.
July 19th. This is your birthday, and this is the night you say you had intercourse,
Yes.
right? Unprotected, the night of that.
Yes.
So, then you said, how many days later?
4 to 5, at least a week.
A week is 7 days in a week. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, we got, all right, so it's either this or this. You said that's when you discovered you were pregnant?
Yes.
And you took what, a home pregnancy test?
No, I went to the emergency room because I thought it was
find
food.
out?
I
Please,
thought it
Your
was
Honor.
food poisoning.
How could you find out you're pregnant
but
4 or
I went
5 days later?
And they gave me a
I'm a father.
sonogram that said baby.
First
And
of
I
all,
gave you that
I'm a
sonogram
father.
that said baby.
Okay, listen, I'm a father. I have kids already. I have 2 sisters that have 6 kids apiece. There is no way impossible you could find out if you have a sonogram.
So where I get a sonogram from that had my name on it? Where I get a sonogram from? They just made me a sonogram
look, just 4 to 5 days later, you were given a sonogram?
And it was a dot. It was a dot on the sonogram, and it was an arrow that said baby.
I didn't
Let
want
me
to
just go back to the sonogram, because I'm sitting here thinking, I am a mother, I remember having a sonogram, but I also remember when you think you're pregnant and you call your OBGYN, you call your doctor, they usually tell you not even to come in until.
But they only did the
because
sonogram.
they can't truly
Thank you,
tell.
Your
Honor, they
They
only
give you
did
a
the-
window of time. I think it's like 4 weeks
You're
at
right.
least.
They only did the sonogram because I said that I was having stomach pains, and they said because
I don't believe
that
it.
I said that I was having
no way
stomach
possible.
pains,
I don't believe
and
that.
that they had found out that I was pregnant. They wanted me to do a sonogram to make sure everything was okay.
Well,
don't
let's
give
be
you-
clear.
The
Let's
doctor
be
don't give you
clear.
sonograms
I
for
don't
having
think
pregnant
there
parents, for having
necessarily
pregnant.
is a question whether or not you were pregnant when they performed the sonogram. I think what Mr. Grant is questioning is the timing, meaning, were you already pregnant?
Yes.
If I was already pregnant, I still would have been pregnant by him if I was already pregnant at the end of the day.
So,
just like it
okay,
is
feel
now.
like,
okay,
Your Honor,
that's good.
Your
Hold
Honor.
on, you know, look, I like to hear the evidence and I like it to make sense.
Okay.
So what you're saying is because you were sleeping together several weeks before
Yes,
that
for
as
several
well,
weeks, yes.
that if you were pregnant,
It
then
still was his.
It's still
There's-
Mr.
It couldn't
Grant.
have been because we just got together, Your Honor. We
We was
just
sleeping
were
together for weeks before my
Yes.
birthday came around, and we
No.
went. We was not. Yes, we
wasn't
were.
sleeping together. We was probably only sleeping together for maybe about a week before her birthday, maybe a week or two before her birthday.
Okay, week or two, that still add up. So either way it go, you still the dad, and that's what we gonna prove today.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Miss Bennett, was he there for the birth?
No,
No,
he
she
said
left.
he was gonna be there, but he
Oh, she
supposedly he called his cousin. No, we had an arrangement. When I left, I was in the beginning stages of my pregnancy.
I didn't
when
want her to
left.
leave, Your Honor.
I-
I asked her not to leave.
He did not ask me not to
Only
leave.
reason she left.
I
is
left to go
because
with my mama.
I started getting back together with my other baby.
Yup, he was getting back together
I
with
got
his
back with her,
baby mother,
but she
and
was
we were
still-
supposed to be
at the
together,
time,
but
she
he
was
was
still living with my
creeping.
sister.
He was
So
creeping
there
with her.
she didn't have to go anywhere. She was still.
I
living
wasn't
with my
gonna stay
sister.
with your
She
sister.
was living with your sister and
Yes.
then you tried to get back with your ex?
Yeah, he was
I
going
was getting
back
back with my
over
ex,
to
she was
his
living with my
ex-house,
sister.
and I was living at his sister's house
so
with
why
him.
didn't you show up at the birth if you didn't want her to leave your sister's house?
She was gone. She was in North Carolina.
It's
at the
planes,
birth.
it's buses, it's cars.
Gone.
You could have came.
I work.
You said you was
I
coming.
work.
It's plenty of ways to come.
Your Honor, I work.
Even if
Sorry.
you know you work.
I work.
You knew when
I
I was
work. At
having
the time I
myself.
worked, I
So
was
you
in the
should have
streets. I got
told
kids.
your
I got other
job in
kids.
advance. So
You're
what?
like-
This one.
So let me
couldn't
ask you this,
just because
Mr.
she
Grant. No,
calls me-
Mr. Grant, let me ask you this. Did you not show because you had doubts and people were in
No.
your head and you didn't know whether it was
That was not the
yours?
reason why I didn't show. I was still working. I was still struggling. I was
Your Honor.
taking care of stuff myself. So I didn't have it just to get up and go.
Your
at
Honor,
the
he
time.
lied. He had his cousin call me and say he was in jail. I have evidence right here.
He was
Your
in
Honor,
jail?
To say that he was not in
Jerome,
jail,
will you
Your
hand me
Honor.
that evidence, please?
Yo, I was never in jail.
Exactly,
And if my
but
cousin
that's
told her
what
that,
he
if my
his
cousin told her
cousin
that,
called me
I
off
would
his
need to
phone
find that.
and told me that, oh, he's in jail, and my friend so happened to be driving up the street and seen him and said, hey, no, he's not in jail, he's right here. I called his phone.
I have no recollection
I
of
sent
that.
him
If my
pictures.
cousin told her
I
that,
didn't
I
talk
have
to
no
him
idea
until,
about that
until
happening.
2 weeks, probably 2 weeks after I had my son.
So you got a call saying Uriah
Was in
Sr. is in jail and won't be able to make the birth.
Yes.
Who would lie and say
And
they're
you were
in jail?
out of all things.
Who would claim that?
I didn't know. I didn't
So
know. my cousin
also
told
this
her that.
person just brought it upon themselves.
To come out of the woodwork, knew when I was having
Listen,
a baby, and just called me
Right, we
out
wasn't
of
dealing
the,
with each other.
just fell out
we
the
wasn't
sky and
dealing
called
with each
me.
other there. I have no recollection of what happened when she called and he had the phone. I
Okay,
have none of that.
okay, all right. So then she called, he had the phone. Did he ever tell you that Miss Bennett had called
He
you?
never told me. He never told me.
I sent pictures.
Never told me.
I texted him.
But
I
you
called
knew
him,
she
I
was
sent
pregnant. You
pictures.
never called to
To
say,
say when
how are
if
you?
I had him.
Is the baby coming?
At the time, no.
Miss Bennett, I need to understand your suit. You're saying he's done nothing for your son. Nothing.
Nothing.
And Uriah is 4 years old.
Yes, I have.
And
right
you
here,
saying
I
4
have-
years, nothing?
I have
correct.
his expenses for these 4 years, Your Honor. He has done nothing for my son at all.
Jerome,
And I
will you
feel
hand me
like
that evidence,
If he's
please?
not going to be there physically and emotionally, I want him
Your
to
Honor.
be there financially.
Honestly, I feel like this. Hold on. I'm not about to be there financially if I don't know yet. I'm near. I talk to him. Yes, I do.
When you want
we
to,
talk. I
you'll
to him.
talk- you'll call
I
him for a
still
couple
call.
weeks and then
Ask-
you'll
do-
stop for
Do I
months.
call though? But do I
You'll stop
call?
for months
I
at a
call
time.
and I
You're not
talk
gonna
to
keep
him.
coming in back
I
in
don't
and
just
out
stop.
of his life. Because
I
he's a
don't
person
want
too.
him
It's
to
like
get confused.
he might be a
All
kid
right,
now,
if
but
If I'm
he's
not
still
the
a big
father,
person.
I don't want him to be confused.
What you've presented to the court are expenses.
Yes.
Associated with raising Uriah for the last 4 years. Food, health care, clothes, shoes, toys, daycare, all expenses related to children, and they total $32,304 the last 4 years.
All by myself.
The maximum allowable suit in this court is $5,000. Let me be clear. And that is your suit.
Yes.
I want to hear from your witness. Please stand up.
Hi, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. What's your name?
Bennett Grant.
Ms. Grant, do you believe your brother has a right to doubt?
Yes, I honestly do. Like, I know, like, I hear rumors that she slept with, you know, a guy I used to talk to.
I don't even know this guy.
The baby looks just like the guy.
I don't even know this guy.
It's just a
I'm waiting
coincidence. The
to
baby
know
looks
this guy.
a spitting image of this guy.
I don't even know this guy. This
Every
is some
year she
guy that
stayed with
said
me.
It's her ex.
It was a lot of different guys picking her up.
Oh, you're the sister she was staying with.
Yeah.
I stayed with her for a couple months, and anybody,
She lived with my sister. She knows.
Anybody who came,
knows.
anybody who
She lived
came
with
and
her.
got me, or anything had nothing to do with my son nor they business.
So-
and I never left my son unattended at no time. I take care of my son.
Oh, 'cause he was always with me.
I
Oh, he
take
was
care of
always
him
with me.
365 days
He was
out the
always
year.
with me.
I
Ms.
take
Grant,
care of him.
Was she-
Let me be clear
If we-
about your testimony. You said you think Uriah Jr. looks just like this other guy.
Yes, a spitting image.
And
And who is this other guy?
He was some guy I was dealing with years ago. But
You were?
Yes.
How did she meet him?
I don't know
I'm
when
waiting to
she
figure out
ran.
how I
I don't
met
know
him,
when
'cause I
she
don't even
ran
know how I
across
met
them,
him.
but I heard
I don't even know when I met him.
rumors that she
I'm
was
still
sleeping
waiting to
with
find out when I
this
met him.
guy.
She see how good our family is. We have.
What? I do
Between me
this
and my
by
sister,
myself 365.
she knows-
I wouldn't
she
care
knows.
how y'all family is. He's straight regardless.
Years she
All right,
parties.
let's bring it down a
I
notch.
dropped.
I have 3 kids. My sister has 6. I have another sister that has 6 kids. I have a brother that has 6 kids. We're always taking care of our kids. She sees how good my family is. She
Sure.
sees
We're
how
always
we
together.
love our
Okay, so
family.
do you, Ms. Grant, have any recollection? Can you put your ex and Ms. Bennett together? Why do you feel like they had a relationship?
It just so happens that the little boy looks just like him, and the rumors that I hear is the same guy's name. Like, coincidence or not?
No, one person tell the next person, and everybody
And
go
your
with that
brother
same story.
said at
Y'all all
some point
blind
you
eyed
wanted to
story.
pay for a DNA test.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I gave her money.
She's from Buffalo. When she came up there and stayed with my sister for them 2 months, all she had to do was go downtown.
Just like all you had to do was go downtown.
Yes,
You
I
the one
could've.
who doubting it,
Yes, I
but
could've.
yet and still I told you all my information, I gave you everything, and you have not yet went down there.
Did I
We
not
wouldn't
give you
be
the
here.
money to go
You
downtown
did.
to
You
make
want
the
your couple
copies?
dollars back?
At the
You want
time-
your couple
at the
dollars
Did
back?
we get any
So you
papers?
can get that
No,
couple
we
dollars
didn't get no
back.
papers.
All
At the time I was working, he was at the
Let's calm down. Thank you for your testimony, Ms. Grant. You may be seated. Mr. Grant, have you done anything for this child? Did you bring any evidence to court?
No, I didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, we just had a storm, a bad storm out there in Buffalo, New York, over the winter, and a lot of my papers were in my mother's basement, and her pipes busted. So, like, a lot of pictures they wanted me to bring here, a lot of my papers and everything, I don't have. They all got destroyed. But his first year he was born, me and my sister sent packages. We sent money. I didn't send a lot of money. I might have sent close to $500.
3.
And we sent
to be exact,
packages.
from me.
We definitely
package.
sent packages. We were sending, like his first year, we were.
Now, when you were sending these packages, were you doubting whether or not it was your child?
I was still doubting at the time that when we
You
were
never
sending
told
those
me you
packages.
was doubting. You didn't tell me you was doubting until my son was, what, almost a year? 6, 7 months, maybe close.
You heard
maybe
what she
close
said,
to a year.
almost a year.
Miss Bennett, I know and I can tell that family is very important to you.
I didn't have my dad. I would like him to grow up, and as a young African-American man, that's
just
what they
desperate,
need.
Your Honor.
They need that
She
whole
desperate. She
family.
need
They
it 'cause
need
she didn't have that
They
father. She
need that
need it.
dad in their life, and I just want him to have better than what I had. I had a good life, even though I didn't have my dad, but I want him to have a great
That's
life.
why she want me around.
What? Please, I've been taking care of myself forever, and it's gonna continue like that. I don't need a man for nothing,
She
not
only-
even to
then
take
she
care of my
that's
son.
why she want me
I
around.
just want you to do what you need to do, what you are
I'm a
responsible
good
to
father.
do.
If he's mine, then I will. Honestly, she really don't know. And
I do
if he's
know.
not mine, I want a countersuit for motion to get my name back if he's not mine.
All right. With that said, Jerome, I'm ready for the results.
Thank you, Your Honor.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Bennett versus Grant, it has been determined by this court Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Bennett versus Grant, pertaining to 4-year-old Uriah Grant Jr., it has been determined by this court, Mr. Grant, you are Uriah Jr.'s father.
I told you. Can I get an apology? I told you. I told you. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Okay.
It's just an apology. I told you I would never do that to you.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad.
It seems like you're a little bit emotional. You happy to finally know?
Yeah. My son. I'm happy.
I always knew this. I'm ecstatic because I already knew this. This is just wonderful that now you know. So.
Well, that's why this court exists. You know, life takes us through ups, downs, changes. We all make mistakes. But ultimately, if you can come together for the truth, that's how we can clear the slate and begin again. Now, you also had a suit, and it was dependent upon whether or not, Mr. Grant, you were Uriah's biological father, and you are. Plaintiff, you said you were suing for $5,000 because you had spent $32,304
Yes,
on
Your
expenses for the last 4 years. I am going to award you that $5,000
Thank you, Your
because
Honor.
that's the maximum this court can award.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But I don't think you'll have a problem with him or
We'll
his
go five,
sister
Your Honor.
or his family being a part of
go
your
five, Your
son's
Honor.
life.
I hope so.
I'm gonna go.
Your Honor.
And I hope that you just live up to
Oh, I will.
what you feel in this very moment. I wish you all the best of luck. Judgment is for the plaintiff, and court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.